somebody and talk to. Oh my gosh, that filter. God,
it's on you. Okay, put it. I need my
hey, why y'all women be?
If you're sexually active with a man, he owes you some respect. You don't think so?
Well, I feel like, yeah, he owes me respect.
Because it's like, I mean, he owes you respect. I mean, okay.
You are separating respect from the truth. I can be respected, but also without being truthful. The same thing could be the same. It could be the truth at the same time.
Have you ever seen someone destroy their own name so badly that the whole thing unfolded on social media like a real-time disaster? That is exactly what happened with Martell Holt. What started as a few whispers quickly grew into a storm after blogger Tasha K and his former partner, Melody Cherie, called him out publicly. Once those clips hit the internet, there was no way to rewind the damage. Tasha didn't stop at one video. She went live more than once, and one of those live streams featured Melody speaking in a way that shocked nearly everyone watching. She wasn't just throwing shade or trying to create drama for attention. Her words carried pain. She talked about unwanted visits, harassment, and genuine fear for her safety. You could hear the stress in her voice and see it in her eyes. This wasn't entertainment. This was personal. Most people would expect that a moment like that would unite the audience, rallying them to support Melody. But the reaction was split. Some people shouted online, "Protect her at all costs." Yet, surprisingly, a large group, many of them women, accused her of exaggerating. They claimed she was using fake tears to sell products and insisted she should just move on. That reaction revealed something ugly about how society often treats women when they speak about fear and trauma. It's one thing to deal with your ex and all the drama that comes with that. It's another thing to face complete strangers who dismiss your pain simply because they've already chosen who they want to believe. When Tasha K dropped that video, Martell didn't take a second to think before reacting. He launched straight into his familiar playbook: twist the story, minimize the claims, deflect blame, and mock the situation. Court documents suggest that he even sent texts mocking Melody's appearance, calling her white suit her Sunday best, as though showing dignity in court was something laughable. He also accused her of going live only to sell merchandise, and he chuckled about it. Then came the predictable manipulation move. He flipped the story. Martell started suggesting that Melody was the real aggressor. He tried to position himself as the victim. If that tactic sounds familiar, it's because men like him have been using it for decades. Push someone to the edge, watch them react, and then claim innocence. Instead of acknowledging Melody's fears, he treated the whole thing like a skit, almost like it was a petty TikTok argument. Melody said clearly, "I don't feel safe." His response? He boasted that if he had really done anything wrong, he wouldn't just be fined, he would be in prison. He used the legal system as if it were a scoreboard for morality, ignoring the reality that not every wrong ends with jail time. Often, legal consequences only scratch the surface of deeper issues. Melody didn't just say she was being bothered, she said she felt threatened. That distinction matters. When a woman says she feels unsafe, it is never appropriate to laugh, mock her outfit, or dismiss her as dramatic. Yet that is the reality too many women face. And then came another shocking twist. After a tense court day, Melody, Martell, and Ariane Curry, yes, the same Ariane who had been involved with Martell, ended up in the same elevator. The air was thick with tension. Instead of staying quiet, Ariane used that moment to take a jab at Melody. She threw shade by making a sly remark about husbands, as if they were still in some old reality TV feud. Melody could have snapped. Many expected her to, but she didn't. She held her ground with poise. That single moment reminded the internet why so many people continue to rally behind her. Melody chooses dignity when things get messy, while others choose chaos. Martell keeps trying to convince the world that he's the one under attack. But here's the truth. When you stir up dust, you don't get to complain about the dirt. Despite everything that has happened, Martell still behaves like he's on some sort of publicity tour. He cracks jokes, throws jabs online, and treats this like an Instagram roasting contest. Meanwhile, Melody is working to protect her peace. She's raising her children, running her businesses, and moving forward. Martell, on the other hand, seems determined to drag her back into conflict. He shows up in places he shouldn't, sends messages that cross boundaries, and keeps poking at wounds instead of letting them heal. And then there's Ariane Curry. Her involvement in this whole mess is puzzling. After everything, being mocked online, torn apart on blogs, and reduced to a background character in a story she once thought she controlled, you'd expect her to step away. Yet she doesn't. She keeps inserting herself. That elevator stunt was a perfect example of insecurity. Imagine being with a man but still feeling so threatened by his ex-wife that you have to act like a jealous teenager. It wasn't confidence, it was desperation in disguise. Ariane often tries to present her relationship with Martell as some kind of victory. But what did she actually win? A man drowning in scandal? A man destroying his own reputation while obsessing over his ex? That's not a prize, that's a burden. Even if she's not the main source of the drama, she keeps adding fuel to the fire. Ariane often tries to present her relationship with Martell as some kind of victory. But what did she actually win? A man drowning in scandal? A man destroying his own reputation while obsessing over his ex? That's not a prize, that's a burden. Even if she's not the main source of the drama, she keeps adding fuel to the fire. Despite everything, a portion of the internet still blames Melody. They call her bitter, they say she should just move on. But how does that make sense? Melody isn't the one sending shady texts, making fun of people online, or causing scenes in elevators. She isn't chasing conflict. The conflict keeps finding her because some people can't handle the fact that she has moved on and is thriving without Martell. The rest of the cast also plays a role in how messy this has become. Letitia Scott and Marcel Scott, for example, have been strangely passive. When Melody speaks up, they're either silent or they throw shade disguised as concern. One minute they laugh at Martell's chaos, and the next they act clueless about what's happening. They witnessed the drama unfold, but stayed quiet, because silence was easier than standing up for what was right. Protecting their spot on the show seemed more important than calling out bad behavior. And then there's Wanda, who flip-flops so much she could run for office. One day she defends Melody, the next she's standing with Martell, and then she's on live streams rambling as if she's the voice of reason. It's messy and it's dangerous. It shows that for many people in power, ratings matter more than safety. This isn't just about reality TV anymore. It's about accountability. Executive producer Carlos King sits at the center of this storm. His job isn't only to stir up drama for good television. His responsibility is to protect his cast. When Melody allegedly called production to say she didn't feel safe and no one responded, that wasn't just a small oversight. That was a complete failure. Fans aren't only upset out of loyalty to Melody. They're angry because the show played with fire and is now pretending not to see the flames. Viewers noticed. Melody's tears weren't for show. Her voice carried real fear, and her instincts were right. Something was off. Martell has a long track record of dodging accountability, recording private moments, twisting stories, and portraying himself as the victim. What gets overlooked is the long-term damage of being gaslit and humiliated publicly. Melody didn't just walk away from a marriage, she walked away from constant disrespect, manipulation, and attempts to control her. And she still managed to raise children, build her brand, and show up to work. It's almost unbelievable that the same people who mocked her for speaking up are now rewriting the story. They ignore court records and documented receipts, but jump at the chance to criticize her outfits, her Instagram captions, or her tone. They never go after the real problem. They go after the easy target. It's like watching someone point to smoke and call it harmless, while ignoring the fire burning in front of them. Fans haven't stayed quiet. They are emailing networks, leaving comments, tagging producers, and demanding change. They are tired of watching women, especially Black women, be put in danger for the sake of ratings. Melody wasn't asking for special treatment, she was asking for basic safety. And instead of stepping in, production kept rolling the cameras. Martell continues posting online like nothing's wrong, but people are starting to see through him. His nice guy act doesn't work as well anymore. The patterns are clear: stir chaos, play victim, repeat. And Ariane, by sticking beside him, only proves that she's more loyal to the drama than to her own peace. Through it all, Melody has stood firm. Despite her ex's attacks, fake friends, and the silence of the production team, she has grown her businesses, expanded her music career, and built her platform. She continues to focus on her children, her healing, and her legacy. That's what real strength looks like. Not loud arguments every 5 minutes, not clapping back to every insult, but continuing to stand tall while others try to pull you down. This isn't just another messy breakup story. It's a reminder of how easily abuse can be dismissed as drama. Too often, when a woman speaks up, people forget the background and focus on the wrong details. But fans aren't forgetting this time. They are calling for accountability, not only from Martell, but from everyone who stayed silent while things spiraled. Because silence isn't neutral. Silence makes you part of the problem. The drama doesn't stop here, and every move is keeping fans talking. Do you think the truth has finally come out, or is there more to uncover? Share your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned, because the next chapter will be even bigger.